That's right. Put your hands together for the CSL Dallas music team. And we want to say thank you and good morning for everybody joining us here on campus or all throughout the world online. And as a reminder, every day is a day for transformation, spiritual deepening, and heart connection no matter what's going on. And every day we learn and practice something important that can make a difference. We love that you are here with us today, and we invite you to plant your intentions with purpose and joy. So go ahead and put your hands together for the CSL Dallas music team.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Right here, sing. Holy, 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 yeah. Holy, holy, holy Spirit, Spirit within me, moving through me, living as me. Holy, 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 yeah. Holy, 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 holy. Oh, holy, holy, holy Spirit, Spirit within me, moving through me, living as me. Holy, 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 holy. Oh, holy, 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 yeah. Holy, holy, holy Spirit, Spirit within me, moving through me, living as me. Holy, 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 yeah. Holy, 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 holy. Say it again, say it now. Holy, 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 holy. Last time. Holy, 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 holy. That felt good.
Testing, testing. Thank you, CSL Music Team. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Hi, I'm Bakari Issa. I'll be your platform assistant for today, and I hope you wholly enjoy your Holy Sunday with us. I know y'all are used to me being here on the 4th of the Sunday, but me and I'm pretty sure Brian is his name, we traded places, so I'll be your third Sunday platform assistant for third Sundays. So thank you for having me. Welcome to CSL Dallas. Now, to begin, let's read our purpose statement together on the screen. We are radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, transforming lives. And so it is. Thank you. First, we have some gratitude to share. A huge thank you to Brenda Stein, the culinary team, and Patrick Ward for their immense support of the Joy Village luncheon on Friday night, February 19th. With CSL Dallas community support, Joy Village was able to raise $276.21 to go towards thank you guys, to go towards the Teen Summer Camp Scholarship Fund and the Joy Village Snack and Supplies Fund. Please join us for our next luncheon at Taco Bar on March 19th. We'd also like to acknowledge the individuals that participated in the Joy Village Gives Back community service event on March 4th at Feeding My Starving Children. Thanks to Patrick Harper and Clementine Ward, Lorena Arguilo, Fiona Lee, Leah Niemeyer, Valeria Ponte, Lana Jacob, and Praxi Robinson, Carmen Daniels, Malachi Green Maninya, Veronica, and Sam Rios. Round of applause for them, please. Some of you may know Reverend Karen Fry is currently in Uganda for a year now. CSL Dallas is proud to support a local Uganda community school located in windy, impenetrable forest, an area of the world where endangered mountain gorillas live. Pretty cool, huh? Reverend Karen was introduced to the school in March of last year and returned this month to visit again to share the love with the children, teachers, and school director Grace. Every child attending the school has lost one or both of their parents, so our support means so much for the future. Please donate today or by March 26th to ensure these students receive a quality education and that the school receives much-needed renovation. You can donate online at csldallas.org/give and select Uganda Community School Fund. Thank you. If you're looking for a great Science of Mind course to start or refresh your understanding of the 10 key spiritual principles and practices, Dr. Tracy Brown is ready to guide you on a journey to learning together. Together, you will learn the 10 key practices, principles, and the 10 key practices to expand your understanding of the spiritual nature of reality and give you tools to apply them with each and every day. Sign up online to attend this 5-week hybrid course starting Thursday, March 23rd. We want to remind you, March 19th is a Sunday you do not want to miss. CSL ministers, Reverend Melissa and Reverend Z, will be rocking the house with their uplifting music and engaging message as our special Sunday guest speakers, and they have an awesome workshop for you that afternoon called the Oh My God practice. It's a practice that will turbocharge your life, allowing you to radically shift your existing challenges, deepen your appreciation for the current good, and expand your life beyond what you currently imagine. You will leave with all the tools you need to put the Oh My God practice into action and change your life for the better. And don't miss the taco bar luncheon that day. All right. If you're new to CSL Dallas, welcome. However you found us today, in person or online, we thank you. Know that you are truly welcome, and we thank you. We love staying in touch with you. Stay in the know by following us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. If you haven't signed up for our weekly newsletter and inspirational texts, fill out the Connect card from the chat online or via the welcome table in person to stay connected to all that is happening at CSL. Now let's settle in and center ourselves with this morning's music team and practitioners' opening prayer as we go within. Thank you.
I breathe in the heart of love. 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 I love in the heart of God. I love in the heart of God. I love in the heart of God. I live in the heart of love. I live in the heart of love. I am in the heart of God. I am in the heart of God.
Please take a moment to just breathe in into the heart of God, that indwelling space where there is no separation between God and each and every one of us. That place where there is only unconditional love, love with no boundaries. That special place where love is all around us. And as within, as without, we take forward that heart of God into the world, into those around us, out into the planet, just knowing that love is within each of our hearts as within the heart of God. And so as I welcome you here today, we center in that knowing that there is only love. There is only the heart of God within each and every one of us. And that from that place, we lead a purposeful and joyful life without boundaries, without judgment, just pure, unconditional love. So we bless this time, we bless this space as we come together. We affirm that by saying, and so it is.
That's how we're gonna sing this quietly. I breathe in the heart of love. I breathe in the heart of love. I love in the heart of God. I love in the heart of God. I love in the heart of God. I live in the heart of love. I live in the heart of love. I live in the heart of love. I am in the heart. I am in the heart of God. I am in the heart of God. All right, we don't have to be quiet anymore. Here we go. Celebrate, y'all. Life is in me, moving through me, beyond question, steady and strong. Power and presence is my essence, been within me all along. What is there to be afraid of? All right. Pure light is what we are made of. All right, all right. Life is in me, moving through me, beyond question, steady and strong. Power and presence is my essence, been within me all along. And what is there to be afraid of? What is there to be afraid of? Pure light is what we are made of. All right, all right. Life is in you. Can you feel it? Look inside you, look around. Power and presence is your essence. Where you stand is holy ground. And what is there to be afraid of? What is there to be afraid of? Pure light is
much. All right, so we have a very, very, very special treat today. Today we are welcoming in new members and we are acknowledging devoted members. So we're going to bring up Christine Volkmer and Sherry Wood, who have been honchoing our new member program for quite a while. And they're going to, they're going to start our new member ritual.
Good morning, beloved CSL Dallas community. So good to see of you all. So we have 12 fabulous new people that have said yes to becoming members at CSL Dallas this morning. So yes, so grateful. So I just want to open it up. What does it mean for you as a member? Just one word, just shout it out. What does it mean for you to be a member? Belonging, community. Connection, love, home, joy, fabulous. And online, please put yours in the chat because we do have online members. So please join in and put it in the chat. For me, it's all those things. And it's also been a place for me to grow myself, to go into thriving. I have a fabulous spiritual practice that I can do on my own anywhere at any time, and yet it's when I'm here in community, that's what grows me. We're all diamonds in the rough, and what we need is each other to polish those edges, to come alive, to recognize spirit within each one of us, and that each one of us values, each one of us belongs here, is welcome here, and there's no place like it, really. And so in my 20 plus years, that has been my experience of what it means to be a member at CSL Dallas. It's a place to be of service, to grow, to thrive, to give your gifts, your time, your talent, and your treasures. And we're going to hear from our new members in just a minute as to what they bring to our already thriving community.
So I had the beautiful privilege of working with our 12 new members last weekend and getting to know each of them. And every time I do that, you know, it's that memory. You never forget, right? Those of you who have been through this process, you never forget who was in the room. You never forget when you said yes and when you walked that aisleway and stood here and received that blessing and that homecoming. So we are so grateful that for those of you who said yes, are here with us this morning, that we get to celebrate with you. We all walk on the shoulders of giants. So welcome. And with that,
Let's bring them up.
let's bring them up. Come on up.
Come on up onto the platform. Joe, you can stand down here, and so we can have the rest of the new members up here on the platform. That would be great. And while we're bringing the new members up, for those of you who are going to also become devoted members today, we'd love to, once the new members have come up here, we'd love for you to just congregate over there on the side if you wouldn't mind. So come on up here. Just come on up here, all the way over here. Yay. And Christine, are you going to tell them what they've done with their flower? Tell the community what they've done with their flower and stuff? All right.
So we go through a beautiful process called Who I Have Come Here to Be. And out of that, each of our new members has written down 3 of the gifts that became inspired in them as a result of that process. So they'll be sharing with you what those gifts are as we proceed.
Great. All right, so we're going to welcome our new members, and Sherry's going to read out your name. When she reads out your name, just come here and say what your gift is and place your flower. Can we use that microphone right there? Yep, perfect. We're going to use this. This is the red mic. We're going to use this red mic. When your name is called, come on up. And then we're just going to line up here on the steps on either side so people can keep coming down, right? A couple of you on the floor here as well. And so, Sherry, if you want to begin.
So please welcome our first new member, Haley Armstrong.
I have come here to be a creative, powerful, and warm expression of God.
Yay.
Please
Come on up. Nope,
welcome
come on.
Malcolm Austin.
Yay. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, here, you guys can pass the microphone to the person behind you. Okay.
Okay, so I am here to be a loving, teaching, authentic, truthful expression of God.
Because I'm going to hug you, and so then it can be right there.
All right, and followed by his fabulous wife, Stephanie Austin.
I have come here to be an authentic, compassionate, non-judgmental expression of God.
And you can see how our garden is growing.
Okay. Yes. Please welcome Kiara Collins.
I have come here to be a compassionate, global steward, confident expression of spirit.
Yes. Please make welcome Anthony Dart.
Peace, everyone. I come here to be a confident, caring, and guidance expression of God.
Please welcome Charlotte Donald.
Sorry, I have them out of order.
Oh, sorry.
I have come here to be a loving, leading, spirited expression of God.
Now it's Joe's turn. Yes, Joe Englehart.
I have come here to be a talented, progressive, self-aware expression of God.
And Joe, wait. Joe, give the microphone back to Joe. Joe's also going to speak for his beautiful fiance who's running a triathlon this morning.
She's a badass.
Erin Lorraine, please.
She has come here to be a helpful, compassionate, brilliant expression of God.
Yes. All right. Please welcome Paula Holland.
I have come here to be my true self, to live life fully, and with graceful power to be the voice of spirit.
Next we have Jerry Miller.
I have come here to offer compassion for others, support for others in their pursuits, and to express self-actualization.
Hi, I'll introduce myself. I'm Kyle Van Swoll.
Well, Kyle, go right ahead.
Thank you so much. I've come here to be a compassionate, open-hearted, and steadfast expression of the divine spirit.
And last but not least, Christine is going to speak for another new member who couldn't be here today, Elena Swindoll.
And Elena has come here to be an inspiring, simple, action-oriented expression of God.
My finger's not working. Oh.
There we go.
Well, that's weird. Oh, there they are. There's all the names. I don't know what happened. So, fabulously wonderful. So I'm going to ask you to come right here, down forward, and if you guys could step down onto this step. And Jerry, why don't you come down one more step here? Just right here, okay? So these are our members, and as was said, our new members stand on the shoulders of those people who have come before you and who have been, they've been doing their growing and their working and continue to make the space available. So a few years ago, we developed a category called devoted member. A devoted member is someone who works all of the ways in which one can contribute and participate in CSL Dallas. That means that they are members and have been for well over 7 years. They are people who have consistently taken classes. They are people who have consistently served and volunteered, and people who have consistently financially supported CSL Dallas. And they have, by their practice, not only grown their own lives, but have demonstrated their devotion to CSL Dallas. We currently have 63 devoted members, and we're going to add another 9. So I'm going to grab these up here. And so as I call your name out, why don't you just all come on up here? Come on up here. And as I call your name out, we're going to acknowledge you as a devoted member and all that you have done and given. And then we're going to ask you to fill in behind our new members, right? Because they are here because you've been here, right? Yeah. So, all right. So here we go. None of these names will surprise you. If you've been around here for a while, no, one of these names will surprise you. Gary Buckmaster. Thank you. Ann Reuter. Yay. Sammy Gonzalez. Yay. Daniel Jackson. Thank you. George Ann Moss. Thank you. Linda Taylor. Thank you. Kia Tillman. Thank you. Tina Tynan. Yay. Stand right over here so people can still see you. Right over here, right? And so we're going to scoot you out there, right, so people can see you. And last but definitely not least, Don Okpong. So scoot in there somewhere where you can be seen. So membership, as you know, in CSL Dallas is both a privilege and a responsibility, but more than anything else, people become members because they've decided they love it here. And, there's no requirement to become a member at CSL Dallas. You can take advantage of so many of all of our programs and services without being a member. And yet there's something that matters when you say, yeah, this place. And so if the devoted members, if you would put your hands on the shoulders of the members, of our newest members, just kind of, not everybody's going to be reached, but I want you to imagine that our devoted members have their hands on your backs, on your shoulders, as a way of recognizing the chain, right? The chain of love and membership, and each one planting seeds and growing our garden. So yeah, here's our names. Oh, they're working, but they're kind of in a weird order. There you go. So, Oh, there's our names of our devoted members. So I'm just going to ask you to stand with me, and we're going to have a moment of gratitude and blessing. So you can raise your hands if you choose, and imagine that you're sending this blessing out to this amazing group of people. I see you. I bless your commitment. I bless your spiritual path. I'm grateful that you are planted in our garden. May your life bloom May your spirit blossom. May your soul be fruitful. And may we walk together for a very long time. And so it is. So we want to thank you so much for being devoted members, for being new members. There is a reception just for you after the celebration. Please do join us in the back of Pankey Hall. The Court Council has made a little reception. We'd love for the new members and the devoted members to get to know each other forge new bonds. And man, look at this. Look at this after the pandemic, right? You guys are beautiful and amazing, and I just want to say the other thing. You know, we have a number of young adults who've chosen to join us. I found Science of Mind. I was 17. I became a member when I was 19, and this message is for our young adults as much as it is for us. And you thrill me, and you speak to my heart for being a part of this. And all of you make a difference. Your presence. Thank you so much. All right, you may be seated.
Okay, so it's our turn now. And okay, now I don't want to cry. I guess I've been hanging around you for 30 years or whatever. And I guess that as I look, I guess one of the greatest things that I've learned from being here is to celebrate the sacred and what they call the secular. There's only good, there's only God, period. And it's just keep it simple. And so we are going to do it like this. Right, all right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Nothing's impossible, I have found. For when my chin is on the ground, I pick myself up, dust myself off, and I start all over again. Don't lose your confidence if you slip. Be grateful for a pleasant trip. And pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again. Work like a soul inspired till the battle of the day is done. You might be sick and tired, but you'll be so much stronger when you're done. Won't you remember those famous women and men who had to fall to rise again? They took a deep breath, dust themselves off, and they start all over again. Show some love. Work like a soul inspired till the battle of the day is done. You might be sick and tired, but you'll be emerged when you're done. Won't you remember those famous women and men who had to fall to rise again? They took a deep breath, dust themselves off and started all over again. They started all over again. That's the band.
The best jazz you can hear in Dallas. Right here on a Sunday morning, the best jazz band and jazz singer. It's so fabulous. Felt like I just needed to be in a little smoky joint right in there, hanging out. It's so great. 8 o'clock, the Balcony Club with Jonathan Fisher. Absolutely, that's totally true. I know, right? So, well, that doesn't look right. Oh, there it is. So we're in our Step Out in Faith program, right? We're in our topic is emergence. Something really doesn't look right. Growing the garden of your life. Step Out in Faith 2023. That's what we're doing. We're in the middle of that program, and today we're planting our intentions with purpose and joy. And sometimes we have to plant them with purpose and joy because we are picking ourselves up, right? And starting over again on something, right? Isn't that true? We're intending to keep moving. We're intending to do something new. We're intending to heal whatever that mess was, or forgive it, or forget it, or something, right? Or learn from it. We set intention to learn from it, to pick ourselves up and keep doing it again. So Gary and Daniel, could I ask you to move this to the other side? It's really kind of right. I can't see any of these people right here. Could you? That would be so lovely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So planting intentions with purpose and love. And so I noticed that today's talk is the gospel according to Petra. Okay? So this comes directly out of my own experience. I spent a lot of time thinking about this because, man, you can go out on YouTube and you can read books and you can watch all kinds of things about how you are to set your intention and make it happen. Yeah, well, that's not always how it has worked for me. And I'm guessing maybe not necessarily for you, which is why we're talking about planting intentions and doing it with purpose and love. So our metaphor, this whole program, right, is emergence, growing the garden of our life. And we're looking at using these planting and gardening metaphors. So when you think about planting, in my lifetime, I've had a giant organic garden, and I've had little pots, and I've had everything in between. And thinking about planting, one of the things I notice is that we usually talk about it as like I take a seed and I plant it in the ground. But that's not actually always how you do it. There are many ways to plant. Some wildflower seeds and grass seeds you simply strew out there, don't you? You just throw them out there. Some of them you put in a row, you put in way more seeds than you need. Others, they have a specific depth they need to be planted in, whether it's a bulb or whether it's a tree. You have to really understand how deeply you have to plant that seed so that it will take root, or that bulb, or that little tree. And some of them require special fertilizer or special working of the soil before you can plant it. So one of the very first things that we want to notice today is that there's lots of ways of setting intentions and planting them. So some of them, I looked back in my own life and I realized some of my intentions I set very casually. I remember when I was 8 years old and I read a book, one of millions of books I've read, and I read a book about a little girl, and she grew up, and I don't remember blah, blah, blah. I don't remember actually anything about the story other than when she was 16, she went on a trip around the world. And I went, wow, I'm going to do that. And I promptly forgot about it. And on my 16th birthday, my father gave me the choice. I could have the used car of my choice, I could have the fanciest stereo system I could bend my mind around, or I could have a trip around the world. And I went, no brainer. Casually, many of us have set those kinds of intentions, something that lodged in our consciousness. I remember reading books about women who would go into the woods for a period of time of solitude. And I remember yearning for that when I was in my teens and my 20s. And when I burnt out of my first community so spectacularly, I had had a share in a cabin in the woods, and I bought the other people out of the cabin, and I went and I lived in it for 3 years. And it took me 2 years to realize that I was living that intention, that I had yearned for and had said to myself, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. But I never worked on it. Do you see? We make those casual intentions, like throwing the seeds out. But there's something that catches hold. And then there are some intentions that we really have to work at it, don't we? We have to dig in deep, and we have to work at it and work at it and work at it and stay committed and go for it and go for it. I can think of, the story I told a few weeks ago about our ministerial training when they kept saying no to me to become a minister, and moving to Dallas when I needed help with my infant son. I wanted to come back home. Lots and lots of things we've done here at CSL Dallas, right, where we're digging deep over and over and again, and really setting that intention and not being moved from it. And then we know that there are other intentions that need to be worked from a fertilizing point of view, right? We need to be inspired. We need to be inspired by other people, that they've been able to do it and that we can see it, and our soul and our consciousness is fertilized and cultivated as we are working that intention. So there's no one right way. What we don't ever do, I'm sure that you have had this experience, right? We don't ever stand in the garden or look at that tree and say, damn you, grow. And yet, how many of us have done that in our lives? And we want to force it, and we get mad at it, and we're frustrated with it, right? But we know that things take time to grow. Now, the other thing that I got to thinking about this is that I realized that I think we misconstrue, in a lot of self-help and personal growth stuff, we misconstrue or we equate intentions with goals and resolutions. And in retrospect, it seems to me that they're not actually the same thing. Intentions are not necessarily goals about something specific. That might be part of the outpicturing, but if I look back at my life, my intentions that really moved me further along had to do with my life. They had to do with who I wanted to be, how I wanted to show up, what kinds of experiences I wanted to have. And then along the way, there might have been something specific, but that's actually a goal that we're working toward, something specific. And when we are planting intentions, I want us to think about this idea that it's more about our life and who we want to be. It's a way of being in the world, and it's an acceptance that our life can be different than it is. Do you see? As opposed to, I'm going to manifest this job or this car or this thing or that money or it's an acceptance. It's an acceptance that our life can be different than it is, and that we need to become and do things differently for that to happen. Do you see the thing that goes right along with intention, and it's really hard for me to parse out the difference. I love words and I have to roll them around and think, what are the nuances? But it's really hard for me to actually ascertain the difference between intention, decision, and choice. They kind of all run together, don't they? Right? Your intentions inform your decisions. If you're letting your intentions be actually the way you want to be in the world, the intentions inform the decisions, which then, of course, inform your choices. Even if you have to choose between two things you want, or two things you enjoy, or two things that you think you want to say yes to, it's the intention and the decisions that begin to shape the choices. And we can take great confidence in the choices that we're making because we're making them out of intentions. So I want to share with you just some intentions that I set and what I did to help make those intentions real. And I'm hoping that somewhere in here there's going to be something useful for you. This is a lifetime of trying to figure out what does it mean to plant or set intentions and how to actually live from them. So one of the first examples that I came up with in my own mind after years of therapy, which didn't seem to make any difference, right? Therapy just kept feeling like it was constantly keeping the story alive. I simply decided that I would set my intention that in every way that I could possibly imagine, I would not be petty. I would just not be petty. Which led to decisions. I'm either going to say something or not say something, and led to choices. This is how I'm going to show up. It led to choices of when I really wanted to go to somebody, what I did was actually listen and apologize. Do you see? Because I set the intent, I didn't know how else to get to forgiveness and openness and all of those things. So I simply set the intention not to be petty. And what helped me with that is I would say this to myself. I've said this to myself for years. I bequeath it to you. In the ultimate scheme of the universe, how important is this really? Oh, man. When I started saying that to myself, it was so easy not to be petty. It was so much less effortful to let things go, to let them be, to go, yeah, I know we're all doing the best we can. It's really okay. It's really okay. In the ultimate scheme of the universe, how long do I have to hold on to this thing? Oh, my God. Do you see, just setting the intention to try to the best of my ability not to be petty, which meant I could look in the mirror at myself in the morning and feel good about how I'd shown up. That intention began to carry through in decisions and then choices. So another thing that I had to work on is being happy with myself and in my own skin. I was raised to compare myself to everybody and to judge myself and everybody else, right? And of course, the measuring stick was perfection. And but I spent a lot of time worrying about what people thought of me. And in my first ministry, I turned myself into a pretzel, trying to be something that I wasn't. And I was constantly worrying about what people were saying about me and what they were talking about me. And when I finally said, no, I'm not going to do that, Michael God said, comparison is the death of joy. I'm like, okay, I have no idea how to do that. I set the intention to no longer compare myself, to just be me. And I'll never forget, a coach at the time said to me, well, you know those people that you're all worried about thinking about you, like they only think about you for 5 minutes. And then they're off on their lives, and they might think about you the next day for 5 minutes, but you have to live with you 24/7. So what are you going to do? Are you going to think about the 5 minutes that somebody else is thinking about you, or are you going to live your life the 24/7 that you have to live with you? Well, do you see, all of a sudden, the whole thing was reframed. Why am I worrying about the 5 minutes that somebody's unhappy with me if I am able to be happy with myself and live in my own skin? Do you see? Setting the intention to be happy with ourselves is really acknowledging that we are unique and we are not perfect. to be willing to try new things, right? I taught myself to say, well, let's just see what happens, instead of the paralysis by analysis that I had grown up with. Do you see, I set an intention. We can set these intentions and we can begin to reframe them in our minds over and over and over and over again. I remember all of these because these are grooves in my brain that I have been working on for a very long time. And they have, over time, become habitual so that I can live my intentions. Part of that is also to stop figuring it out. Oh, the whole series of steps, you got to know them all, or you got to decide which option is right, either A or B. And to move into a place of trust, right? Another really empowering intention. I'm going to live with trust. And remember a few weeks ago or months ago, we talked about we're not trusting other people, right? Because they will let us down, we'll let ourselves down. But what never lets us down is the universal principles and the love of Spirit. That never lets us down. So I wanted to move into a place of trust. Do you see, when we intend trust, everything changes. And so I began to say to myself, well, it's an infinite universe, for God's sakes. There can't be just an either or. If it's an infinite universe, there must be an infinite number of options, an infinite number of possibilities. Now, I may not want to choose all of them, or some of them I don't like the consequences of. But do you see, by setting that intention to trust the universe, I stopped being so needing for something to go right or to be right. Ernest Holmes says this: the greatest good which our mind is able to conceive should be affirmed as a part of our everyday experience. From such daily meditation, we should venture forth into a life of action with the will to do, the determination to be, and the joy to become. Right? Isn't that our intention? To become who we are, who we've always come here to be, all those beautiful things, to become more of that. Spirit is happy, whole, free, filled with joy, eternal in its existence, and can provide you with everlasting expansion. All your highest hopes and dreams have come from it. The echo of its being is in your intellect. The voice of its unspoken word is in your mind. The feeling of its light and life is in your heart. The emotion of its imagination is in your soul. Isn't that our intention? Isn't that our deepest and highest intention? Right? To be all that we've come here to be the best version of ourselves at any given moment, to joyously express, to love. Really, all the specific things, right? All those goals and resolutions, yes, they all fall out of that. But it starts here with growing our life, with purpose and joy, right? With purpose and joy. Okay, it took me a really ridiculously long time to realize that the purpose wasn't to get it right. How many of us are trying to do it right? Be right, being right, doing it perfectly. I just had this conversation with my son, and he said, I don't know what's the right thing to do. And I said, there isn't one. There isn't a right thing to do. There's no manual. There's no list. This is right and that's wrong. We're not robbing a bank or killing somebody, right? This is the way we tie ourselves in knots in our own lives. And boy, did I grow up with that message. You better do it right. And there is actually a correct way to fill the dishwasher. There is a correct way to clean the bathroom, a perfect way to fold the towels. I learned it from my mother, right? How many of those do we have? Not just in household, but in how we're to show up at work and at school and all the ways in which we are supposed to do it right. And so we're afraid to set an intention sometimes because we don't know which is the right one. to set, right? Okay, so, I'm letting you into my closet. These are all the many things that I've had to work on when I intended to be the best version of myself that I could possibly be in any given day, which is clearly not perfect by any means. So I had to learn to start reminding myself that I'm doing the best I can. Do you remind yourself that every day? Every day. I'm doing the best I can. Well, which also implies that the other person is too. The other people, everybody's doing the best they can, but we start with ourselves. I'm doing the best I can do. That was the first part of that. I had to work on that for a number of years because when it wasn't perfect or it didn't appear to be right, it was clear to me that it was wrong. I'm doing the best I can. And then I learned to tack on to that. I'm doing the best I can. And if it's truly the best I can do, that's my intention, to do the best I can, and if it's truly the best I can do, then it's good enough. I would give that to you. Actually, Linda, I would love to affirm it's not hard. It takes diligence. This is what it means to set an intention and live it. Right? It does mean you continually remind yourself of truth. I did the best I could. And if that was really the best, I wasn't petty, I did the best I could with whatever was needed from me, I showed up in the best way that I knew how, whatever it was, if that was the best I could do, then I trust that it was good enough. Do you see? Because if you're a radiant, magnificent being of love and light, if you're an expression of the one, how could your best be any less than good enough? Which isn't perfect. I challenge you to go out into the world and find a perfect tree, or a perfect rose bush, or a perfect beach. There's no such thing. They're perfect in their imperfection. Do you see? Each one of them doing and being the best beingness they can be. And there's no right answer. I learned over time that if I decided to stay, I would learn and grow. And if I decided to go, I would learn and grow. If I took that job, I would learn and grow. If I took the other job, I would learn and grow. Right? There's no right answer, really. There's answers that are more in alignment with our values. There's answers that are in alignment with our intentions. Or quite frankly, it's just a choice. Make a pick, see what happens. Rather than becoming so tied in knots with what's the right thing to do. There is no right answer. There's only your answer, and there's your answer in the moment, because you've set the intention to do the best you could. And therefore, the best you can is, in fact, good enough. And that begins to open our life to joy. Right? We stop squeezing our lives into how it should be and has to be and must be, and all the ways in which we are confining ourselves or scolding ourselves or not lifting ourselves up. And of course, you know how that goes. Whenever we're doing to ourselves, we're doing to the people around us, right? You know how that goes. So the last thing I would say about purpose is my experience with myself and with a lot of other people that I have coached is when I say I'm confused, what that really means is I am unwilling to admit what I know I want to do or should do or could do. I'm unwilling to admit it, or I'm unwilling to decide for it. So check yourself when you ask a practitioner to treat for clarity. Make sure that you just don't already have clarity, you're just trying not to see it. Because we're afraid of the consequences, or we're whatever it is, we're afraid it's not the right thing, it's not perfect, whatever, right? That's why all the previous things are so important. because it allows us to get that to that point. Now, we can look at two choices and say, I'm not yet ready to make a choice. That is a conscious decision, as opposed to, well, I'm just going to pretend that I'm confused. And so my experience is that when I am a little less specifically goal-oriented and a lot more intention-oriented about my life, and I use these kinds of practices, my experience is my life is filled with a whole lot more joy. Because I'm living life from the intentions that I'm setting, not from all the ways that I have to fix and improve myself. Right? Because that's all the ways things we don't like about ourselves. So again, in thinking about this, I thought, well, there's no one way that this shows up. And we have to give ourselves space and grace to have this be a more organically emerging process, right? So I noticed that for me, that there are three ways that joy shows up for me in this process. The first one is when I stand like Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings, right? And I put my holy staff down and I say, this, by God, from this I shall not be moved. And the power that comes from that fills my heart with joy. Right? And don't be afraid of that. Even if it's not a specific, I'm going to now make $1 million, but it's from this I shall not be moved. I will love in the face of hate. I will stand for love in the face of racism. I will not be moved. I will not become afraid of what's happening in the country today. I will stand for the truth. Do you see? These are all things that we can do that. From this I will not be moved. From a physical diagnosis, a mental diagnosis, a healing that we want to have. And when we have that much power and we allow that power of of presence and spirit to move through us, right? My experience is that the joy overflows from that declaration of truth. Other times I've set intentions and I have chosen to remember that I do my best and it's good enough. And I notice that joy comes towards me like puppy dogs at a puppy dog park wagging their tails. And it's easy and it's effortless and it's beautiful and it's wonderful and it's so amazing. We just have to be paying attention because it's all coming at us like with the wagging tails of a puppy dog. Yeah. And we feel good. And those are the times we say TSRW and wow, look at my life. Look how different my life is than it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And then there's a third way that I notice that my intentions show up with purpose and joy. And that is when we stand in our life with our intention and our purpose with an open hand, as if our intention is a butterfly and we're standing in the garden. And we're just waiting. Notice I didn't say hoping, nor wishing. Just waiting. Waiting for the butterfly to come, which it will, beyond the shadow of a doubt. Just waiting with an open hand. And when that butterfly comes, not to close the hand, but to let it sit or crawl or climb for as long as it does. And then to, as joyously, let it go. Let it fly away. Do you see? All three of these ways are ways in which we are being in our lives, both purposefully and with joy. And so this week, as we're in our Step Out in Faith, for those of you who are in study groups, you're going to have a video, you're going to have a workbook in which you can work this out. If you're not in a study group, we do have a one-page that we put out for the month to just be in this place and to explore what intentions about your life are you setting? How are you planting them? Different intentions require different ways of planting. And different intentions require a different stance from us. Are we claiming it with our staff? Are we just letting it show up? Or are we standing there with deep and profound joy, knowing that there are butterflies, and they do come? Ernest Holmes says this, there is one life. That life is our life now. Consciously, we identify ourselves with it. Definitely, we affirm the one presence and the one power operating in, around, and through us. Anything that denies the supremacy of good is itself but a mistaken judgment. As we come to open up our thought to a greater acknowledgement and acceptance of the divinity that resides within us, we find ourselves on the pathway to achieving the purpose for which we are created, to express the nature of the divine, the source of our being, and the truth of our soul. And so it is.
Thank you, Dr. Petra. Hello, I'm still Bakari Issa. My hair is just flipped back. Now, let's all show our support for this beloved community. We invite you to give generously to the work of CSL Dallas, knowing that as you give, the law of circulation multiplies that gift to you and to so many others. We begin by affirming our abundance together. As I attune my consciousness to divine abundance, I automatically have a deeper experience, a higher realization, a greater good in my life. As I know this is true for me, I know this is true for CSL Dallas, our community, and the world. And so it is. Thank you. There's so many ways to give. Text giving, Venmo, PayPal, auto tithing, or use the basket being passed around. Pick which option works best for you. Are you looking to be of service, enjoy creating sacred spaces, and connecting with others in a sacred way? Then our CSL Dallas Ritual Team is the place for you. The Ritual Team creates and facilitates ceremonies and rituals for our community throughout the year to provide a deeper spiritual experience at each event. Some of the events include World Peace Day, Earth Day, the Winter Solstice, and New Year's Day. Other special occasions include Cedar dinners and recommitment ceremonies and more. Sign up to learn more and connect with the team lead, Peggy Roberts. If you're interested in going one step further and finding your tribe and seeking ways to apply the science of mind principles while giving back to CSL Dallas, then get ready to explore how you can at our Spring into Action Fair of Opportunities. At our upcoming fair, you will find ways to connect, serve, and grow through the many teams, groups, classes, events, and more that we have going on each and every day and each and every week. Learn more about Sanghas, Qigong, the culinary team, you name it. This is your chance to see all that we have here at CSL Dallas in one place. You can join the fair on campus or online. It will be after the Sunday celebration on March 26th, so 2 weeks away. There will be food, prizes, and more. Let's close our time together by joining the music team for our closing song.